Hi, everyone. Today is Wednesday, November 4th, and I hope you had a good couple of days off. Happy November. So, from now on, you need to make sure you're bringing your book to class. Okay, and remember, it's called Before We Were Free. So, in case you haven't gotten the book yet, though, it's okay. I went ahead and I posted the PDF book of Before We Were Free in Google Classroom. If you look in the first topic here called important info, it's the very first thing posted now. Okay, it says PDF book of Before We Were Free. And I do have the title in quotation marks just because it wouldn't let me underline it or put it in italics in Google Classroom itself. Okay, so just know that whenever you have a title of the book, you're actually supposed to underline it or put it in italics, okay, where the words are slanted. Anyway, so I'm sure you're wondering right now, why am I watching an Edpuzzle for the video lesson? Well, that's because none of you hardly are watching the video lessons. I only have 2 students who are watching them on a regular basis, and that's a problem. Okay, the whole reason you watch the video lessons is to get instruction, like direct instruction, to understand how to do the assignments. I go over new content and a whole bunch of other important information. So it's a really big problem if you aren't watching it. So from now on, I'm just going to give you the question at the end to get credit. Okay, so this will take place of bell work on asynchronous days. All right. So your assignments for Wednesday and Thursday, just a heads up. A-Day students are going to complete their assignments on the opposite days than B-Day students. So by that is that your friends who are in person are doing in a different assignment than what you're doing at home. And then the next day, when you go in person, you're doing the thing that they did yesterday, and they're going to do the thing you were doing at home. Okay, if you're virtual anyway, you can just disregard this message. But I'm just giving you all a heads up. You won't be doing the same thing as your friends this week. Okay. Okay. So BWWF. When you see this, it is short for Before We Were Free. Okay, it's an abbreviation for Before We Were Free. Okay, so instead of typing out the entire title, if you see BWWF, it means Before We Were Free. Remember this because I'm going to ask you a question about it later. All right. So Before We Were Free, you're going to do part A of an inference assignment today. Da 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 da. So, what is an inference? Well, an inference is a conclusion reached on the basis of evidence and reasoning. So, in other words, it's an educated guess. All right, so you have 4 questions to answer. Okay, the first one says, why do you think Julia Alvarez wrote this novel? What could have been her purpose in producing this piece? And what evidence led you to this prediction? So please take note. You cannot just tell me why you think Julia Alvarez wrote this novel. That's not completing the question. You have 3 different parts to answer in this question. Okay, and where you only have 4 questions to answer anyway, I want you to do a good job on this. So it's like you have 3 different parts to answer. Okay, second question. What potential themes, and notice there's an S here, themes do you think Alvarez might focus on in this novel? So remember, the theme is what a story's, the message the author is trying to tell you in a story, or a lesson you might learn, or the moral of the story. Okay, so what do you think are some potential themes that Alvarez might talk about or try to focus on in this novel? Okay, number 3. Who do you think the main character is in this novel is going to be? What can you predict about him or her? And what evidence led you to this prediction? If you did your assignment on Monday and Tuesday, you should be able to answer this and actually know the answer. Okay, but if you didn't do the assignment from Monday and Tuesday, you tell me. Go ahead and look through the novel and guess, make an educated guess about who you think the main character is going to be and what we can predict about him or her. Okay, and what evidence led you to this prediction. So everyone can still do this assignment or that question. Okay. And number 4, where do you think this novel is going to take place? Be more specific than just a country and a year. What kind of neighborhood or area do you think the main character will be in? And what evidence led you to this prediction? So instead of just saying, oh, I think it's going to be set in the Dominican Republic, I want you to think about, focus down on the character. What kind of neighborhood do you think she's going to live in? And who do you think she's going to be living with and dealing with? Okay, so use your inferencing skills to figure this out.